the day. Time is such a gift, try and control your destiny. We don't know the hour or the day. Unity is strength, let's stand as one without delay. Cause no bad vibe, me a chant. Me no want no bad vibe, me a chant. I just peace the times all around, yeah. No bad vibe, me a chant. No bad vibe, me a chant. Say me no want no bad vibe, me a chant. I just peace the time all around, yeah. No bad vibe, me a chant.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing today? Welcome to another episode of Dev Taught Us How to Live. This is season 4, episode number 4. And we're still in the side of the month of May, and May is Stroke Awareness Month in the United States. So what a lot of people have been doing all month long is bringing awareness to stroke. So you can understand the easy warning signs that you can actually prepare yourself if you're having a stroke. And the warning signs is basically be fast. B stands for balance. E is I for your vision. F is for if your face starts drooping. A is arm is weakness. S is speech is slurred. And T is time for us to call 911. So with that being said, it's time to get to Dev Taught Us How to Live. And as you know, each and every week I bring in a great new guest, and I have a lovely and talented young lady, Akira Hall. How you doing, Miss Hall?
Hi.
I'm so excited that you came on the show with us because I don't get a lot of people that had strokes as an adolescent, and I'm very curious how life has gone for you. So can you just give us a brief synopsis of who you are and why you're on Dev Taught Us How to Live?
Sure. My name is Akira. I am 20 years old, and I had my stroke when I was 6 years old. I am a musician. I like to play the ukulele, and yeah, that's pretty much
it. That was brief and quick.
Yeah.
So for us people out there that are very ignorant and don't understand, different things about strokes, I hear a lot that, you have to be an older person to have a stroke. You can't be a child. You can't be an adolescent and have a stroke. Can you debunk that theory and why that is not true?
It's not true at all. Like, it can literally happen to anybody at any age. Like, it doesn't matter if you're healthy or even if you're sick before the stroke. Like, it can happen to anybody at any time. Like, it doesn't happen regardless of age. Like, it can literally, this is for everyone, not just old people.
And I don't think people really understand that because when people automatically come and say you had a stroke, well, that means you had a bad diet or you were stressed out or numerous other things that, yes, it can be that, but it's other things that actually happen to people that cause them to have a stroke. For myself, I had a hemorrhagic stroke. That's bleeding in the brain. What type of stroke did you have? And you had a hemorrhagic stroke?
Yeah.
So you had the hemorrhagic stroke as well. And that has nothing to do with your diet. That has nothing to do with being stressed or anything. It just something could happen within your brain. You could have an aneurysm, you could have an AVM, and all of a sudden, boom, a rupture. So as a young stroke survivor and going through all the life ups and downs of just being a teenager, you yourself going through this, and pretty much nobody around you had a clue of what a stroke was supposed to be. So you might have a friend that you play in the playground, and the next day you have a stroke, and then I'm like, okay, you had a stroke, and they don't know how to deal with it. How was life dealing with that particular scenario?
So what happened with me was I was running in PE class and I fell. So nobody knew what was going on. Well, everybody was like in shock. And plus I couldn't really communicate because I was having the common symptoms. Like I was having the face drooping, the arm weakness. I was having pretty much all the symptoms. So no one really understood what was going on when that was happening.
Okay. So as a black female, and nobody knows what's going on, and I don't mean to take you to those particular times, but I'm very curious of you coming back, going to school, being a black woman, and trying to articulate that, yes, this is who I am. I had a stroke. I can't play like how you guys used to play before. I'm playing a little bit different. And you might have got picked on, whatever. How did you, as a young child, dealt with that?
I just choose not to let that stuff get to me. I just stay away from people I know are gonna drain my energy. I believe in getting pre-annoyed quickly.
You said you get quickly annoyed. I get that, but but you said something that was very interesting that I like, and I want you to expound on that. You know, the energy part. What do you mean by that? You're like you could quickly tell if someone's going to drain your energy. How can you quickly tell that? And what did you do when you see someone's trying to drain your energy? How did you prepare yourself?
I have been going to therapy, so this is how I deal with it. I just walk away from it, or I'm just like, you know what? I do not have time for this. This person, I know this person's gonna get on my nerves, so it's no point in me putting myself in that situation.
Yeah, because I'm into that too. I'm into energy as well, and I'm very high on that. I think I'm very high on it since I had my stroke. But I learned that there was like two types of vibrations that you people deal with. There's high vibrational stuff and there's low vibrational stuff. And if I see that you're dealing with that low vibrational stuff, I automatically get out of the way. It's not even a person. It could be sometimes it could be my mother, it could be my father, it could be anybody. But I just know at that particular time, it's time for me to go. And what I thought about as low vibrations is basically when people bring up things that automatically goes into an argument. Like it's petty arguments, and like while we're doing this, I don't have time for that, and I just walk away from that. Is that the same thing that you do?
Yes, yes, very much so. Yeah, with me, Greg, I have no filter.
No,
I'm
I get it. I
yes,
get it. I
like,
get it.
I'm so quick to say my opinion on stuff.
But all right, so I got people that are probably watching this and be like, okay, Greg, this is why you do this to me. So I'm gonna ask you this, Akira. If you ask somebody a question, right, and you know how some people try to move the conversation along and answer the question like three questions before what you even asked of. Like, say for instance, you know, where you going Friday? And they'll ask you a question. Why do you want to go? I'm like, that's not what I asked you. I asked you where you going Friday. And that ticks me off when they think I'm asking them something else. I'm just asking them a simple question and they go somewhere else. Does that happen to you as well?
Yes, I just try to deal with it and I try to adapt with it. I have no choice but to adapt with it because I can't control the other person. So I'm just like, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay.
All right. So let's talk about this filter thing. And I just thought it was me. So what do you mean that you have no filter? Like how can you explain that to people? So and I'm dead serious because I know there's a lot of people that probably have that same type of situation.
Mhm.
You know, explain for the people that don't have a brain injury why you don't have a filter.
When it comes to like certain situations, I feel like the truth needs to be said regardless. Like I've been so used to like masking. It's like, you know what? Whatever. I'm gonna tell the truth regardless. It needs to be said. I'd rather be honest, say my truth rather than lie.
I like that. You know, I'm telling you, everything you're saying, I feel the same exact way. Like before my stroke, I was foolish. I was a liar. I did a lot of things that I wasn't proud of. But now it's like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And for me, the reason why I do it is I want you to understand that I don't care. And when I say I don't care, is that you know if you don't like me anymore because the truth is being told, I don't care. I'm not coddling you. Those days are over because I don't have time to waste on coddling you and lying to you. I want to live life. I want to enjoy life. If you want to enjoy life with me, come on. But it's going to be truthful. It might hurt. It might sting, but that's what it is. Is that the same way with you?
Most definitely. Everything you just said, I can relate to 100%.
Wow. Wow. And people don't realize that when we speak as stroke survivors, we don't care if you're an older person or a younger person, if you're a woman or you're a male. We think completely different than you guys. And I think you don't understand it. We think so much different. We almost died. We know that we almost died. We know life is precious. So we're stop wasting people's time and our time. Because if you want to waste our time, I don't got time for that.
Right. That part.
I get it.
That part.
That part. I completely get it. So, Akira, there's a part of you that I don't have any clue about as a stroke survivor. When I had my stroke when I was 41 years old. So that means I went to school, I experienced life, I traveled, I did a lot of things, and I had my stroke, and everything just went haywire.
So you were up in the age range when it happened. So yeah.
Well, what, you trying to call me old?
No.
Are you trying to call me? You trying to call me old?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Hall trying to call me old, but it's okay. You're good. But seriously, what I want to know is, since you had this as a child, you had to do a lot of things. You had to do a lot of adjustments before you even had your own house or even drove your own car, whatever that is. For the people out there that was in your same situation, first, I do like your shirt. What does it say? Stroke survivor. I see flowers. I see a heart.
Yes.
Is that your own design?
Oh no, I got this off Etsy.
Okay, cool. All right. So as a stroke survivor, a young stroke survivor, can you explain to those people that, when they have in those dark days and they think that life is unfair and nothing's going to turn out right for them, what do you say to that, and how did you overcome those particular hard days for you?
Me personally, I try to not dwell on it. I know this has happened to me, but I know something can be done about this. And now that I'm in my late 20s, my early 20s, I realize that I'm more aware of my circumstance, and I'm just now trying to do something about it. If that makes sense.
That makes complete sense. But you said you went to therapy on that. Can you give us any tips or tricks that would actually help a person that is experiencing that right now?
So a technique my counselor taught me it's called the emotional freedom technique. So basically you say a mantra that relates to your situation. So you would basically you would do it to your third eye, you would do it with both your hands, or whatever it may be. Basically the most sensitive part of your body, that's where you would tap that area. You would be like, even though such and such happened, I fully love and accept myself. And with me as a stroke survivor, I say, even though I got sick, I fully love and accept myself. And I'm still trying to work on that as I go. So that's how I deal with it.
So words are powerful. Is that what you're telling
me? Yeah, most definitely.
Because a lot of people look at us and it's like, okay, well, you speak well, you look well, so the stroke is over. They don't understand that there's a mental part to this,
Right.
and a lot of people don't understand that part. Like for me, I could tell when my depressions are coming, and I do certain things to minimize that, and it's very hard for me even to this day. Mine is about 7 years past, when people tell me things that might sound cruel. And what I mean by that, someone will tell me, Um, you looking fat, Greg. Before you were skinny. You looking fat. What are you doing? You messing up. And they might be making the joke about it, but now I'm taking that very serious. Like, damn.
Right. That happens to me.
But that's what we need to talk about. Like, people don't understand that we're stuck in this world that's called our head because our body is not working the way we want it to work. One. So the people that we have surrounding us, we trust. And what they tell us, we take it almost like law. So if they start saying things, they might, oh, I didn't really mean it. But, well, you said it already. You do mean it.
Yeah, you said it for a reason. Like,
You said it. How do you deal with those particular things when and I'm not saying that it happens to you, but I know for me, sometimes my loved ones do it, and I have to look at them like I know they don't understand. They're not trying to be mean, but they stuck a fork inside of me, and I'm completely done. How do you deal with that?
I just reassure myself that my family loves me or my friends love me. They're not trying to be hurtful in certain, like when they tell me the truth or anything, or even when they're joking. I'm still I'm learning that as we speak. So like I'm trying not to let that get to me.
No, I get it. I get it because I'm a jokester myself. I like to play a lot of games, but it's like I can hear people talk. I'm like, that is sensitive for you. So why are you bringing that to me? And that's the concept that, it hurts. It's like we, as a stroke survivor, have to be intelligent enough to teach you what is going on with us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes most definite sense. Very much sense.
And that's why I'm so curious of how I don't know if you have anybody else that you live around that had a stroke.
Not in this generation.
Right. So I'm very curious how you figured out all these things dealing with all these obstacles, and I'm calling the people around you, the people that you love, as these obstacles because they don't understand who you are, and you have to be patient enough with them, even with a low filter, and you have to deal with all that stuff, and you got to keep your sanity. I'm very curious how you actually did that, so other people can follow your footsteps. Can you expound on that?
I'll try the best I can. I just try not to I try not to like I said, like I try not to let that get to me. I mean, I know that it's going to be said, stuff is going to be said, but it's a matter of dealing with it and talking about it.
Let's talk on that a little bit more. So, are you a type of person that if there is confusion, you want to talk the whole conversation through, or are you just gonna be like, I don't want to deal with it no more, and you just throw it away? What do you do?
Honestly, it depends on how important it is to me. If it's something that pertains to me and like if it's important to me, I want to discuss it. But if it's something that's not as important, okay, whatever.
Okay. All right. School life. Yeah, I know. I know. School life. I'm very curious about this. You had your stroke. You're going back to school. You dealing with friends. You have your old friends, and all of a sudden they don't understand you no more. I know that happened because that happened to me. And then you gain new friends, and they are more compassionate. How was school, and how did you deal with that?
Well, when I first got sick, I was in the first grade. I did according to my family, I was supposed to be in AM and PM kindergarten. Like I was the smartest kid, and then I got sick, and then I was homeschooled for a little while, and because of that, that didn't count. So I had to get taken back a year for that. So elementary school was basically like it was a bunch of like bullying taking place because people didn't understand like what was going on. Me, even the teachers didn't understand like, and it's crazy because my PE teacher thought like I would be able to work out still after I got sick. Like he would push me after I got out of hospital. Like, it was a crazy situation where he would do that. And I'm like, you literally witnessed me almost die, and you're like forcing me to do more exercises that I cannot do. So it was like a situation where like I had to deal with that. Middle school, it got better a little bit because it was just a lot for me. It really was, because everything was just difficult, especially after I got sick.
Okay. I'm hearing this story now. I'm kind of lost for words because at one particular point, I know that children could be rough on people when they don't understand circumstances, and nobody's teaching them that. So yeah, they bully you, and I understand it, and I hurt for you, but then I also look at it that they don't know any better. So, and like you said, the teachers didn't even know. So now I'm kind of upset because nobody is actually talking about how to deal with someone with a brain injury.
Or with a disability, period. I feel like this kind of topic needs to be taught in schools. Like, I feel like this really needs to be a course or like a section in a course, something.
I get that. I get that. I get that. So are you going to be the one that spearhead that?
Great.
Huh? Am I giving you a career?
Mm.
No, but seriously, like we really need something like that because if you look around, you know, not just in the Black community, just in every community. I talk to people and nobody understands what a stroke is unless somebody in their family had a stroke. If that didn't happen, nobody knows about it. So now we're talking about elementary school. We're talking about first grader and looking at a disabled person like, why you're not being able to do this? You look fine, you talking, why are your arm not moving? Why your leg look like that? Why do you have your face drooping like that? Why is that happening? Nobody's explaining that to them. So I do agree with you. I just think we need someone like you to come out there and make that program to make sure that people understand it. I'm serious. It's a need. It's a need, my sister.
Yeah, it is most definitely a need, and it needs to be talked about most definitely, because like I feel like if it's discussed more in the regular population of humans, we could get somewhere. We could get somewhere with that.
But I look at that, Akira, and I didn't care before my stroke. I didn't care about this stuff. This didn't make any sense to me, and nor did I really think it would happen to me. I was strong, I was athletic. I played basketball till I was 40 years old. I used to do a lot of activities. So I'm like, a stroke, that's not going to happen to me. And would it happen to my kids? Heck no. But you're saying, hey, I was in the first grade and it happened to me. So this is not an elderly disease. This is a human disease, any age, any level. But how can we get that point across? Speaking as a person that had it at 6 years old, how can we get that across to people that this could happen to anybody at any age?
Exactly how you said it now. This can happen to anybody at any age. It's a real thing.
Yeah, but they don't believe it. We need a spokesperson. We need a face. Let me show you the face that I'm thinking. I was basically showing you you're the face.
Oh my God.
No, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop pressuring you. I'm gonna stop pressuring.
No, it's like you're boxing me in a corner. Yeah. Like, Craig.
It's on you, my sister. No. Let me stop doing that. Let me stop doing that before you come through the camera and beat me up. I don't want that to happen. All right. So you're in your early 20s.
Yes, I'm 20. I don't know why I said late 20s earlier.
I don't know why you said that either. Don't put the age on. Hey, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't want to rush to be old. Enjoy your youth. Trust me. Enjoy your youth. Enjoy it. So I'm gonna get a little personal on you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Just want to let you know. You see that question right there? Or that
Yeah.
statement, dating and relationship as a young stroke survivor.
All right.
How's that for you? Like what is life like out there for a young black woman as a stroke survivor trying to date?
Crazy. Crazy. It's it's um it's an experience and it's possible, but it's a lot. You got to add a little more tender love and care when it comes to this topic.
Tender love and care. I love how you just come up with things. I don't want to stay on this too long, but I'm gonna tell you what I did, and I want to know if that's actually relatable to you and what you had to do to come to that comfortability to actually dating people. You know, after my stroke, I felt inadequate. I didn't feel like I was able to date a woman because I'm living with my mother. I'm 40 something years old. I'm living with my mother. I don't work. Um, so all the things that I know that a man is supposed to do, I wasn't able to do. So that threw me off for a bit. And then I had an epiphany. I speak to great people. I have great people that I involve myself with. And they told me, being honest with yourself, talking truth to people, letting people know exactly who you are. There are going to be people out there that's going to like you and love you for just that, instead of you trying to be something that you're not. Does that resonate with you?
Like I said, everything you've been saying so far, I can relate to. Most definitely.
Well, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let you talk because I don't want to take your interview away. If I say everything and that's what you agree with, I don't want to do that. I want you to bring it out for us. But so I know men are cruel. I know that because I was cruel too.
I
Um,
agree.
and they probably look at, oh, you're different, and they want to see what the difference is, and they just want to have claim to say I've been with you, I talked with you, I went on a date with you. um how do you deal with that? Like, and I'm not saying just for you. Speak to the audience, someone that you think in your shoes that's trying to date, trying to go out there. How do they deal with that?
Like with overall being in a relationship.
No, you're young, you're attractive, you had a stroke. So now you're like a trifecta, and some guys might look at it as this is a trophy. Like, oh, I dated the stroke girl. I dated the girl that had a stroke. You know, and they might just want to look at it as more of a trophy type of thing instead of saying I really want to be with you. How do you filter that, and how do you not get into your feelings about it? What do you do to actually push that away? And then we're done with this topic. I see that your eyes crawling up and everything. I'm like, Greg, what are you talking about? I told you I was gonna get personal. Go ahead.
Oh no. I just try not to let that get to me. I know I'm a person at the end of the day, and I know I deserve love that's not biological at the end of the day. Like I have a life too. People who have strokes, they have lives too. Like we still human. We still have a feelings.
I get it. How did you impress me so much as a young person? Maybe because you've been dealing with this for so long, you
Yeah.
you 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 figured out a ways to actually deal with it. But you're impressing me so much with your answers of how you let things just rub off of you. A lot of people are very emotional about stuff like this. You might be emotional. I'm not saying that you're not, but you have
Oh,
learned.
I
But you
am.
have, I could tell. I could tell a little bit. But I could tell that you have learned these coping mechanisms to not let it hit you that hard. It might hit you, but a lot of it rolls off.
Yeah, it
You
rolls
know.
off the next day or the next hour or so.
Okay. So that's why I'm so impressed with you and how you do that. That is very remarkable. What do you do now, Akira? Like, you're out of school. What do you do now? And I know you do some social media stuff and things like that. What
Mhm.
do you do now to find your peace, to say, okay, this is my thing, this is my life, I'm enjoying it? What is that?
When I'm feeling bored, I go outside on a walk. I play my ukulele outside, and find I find peace in listening to music, playing music. Everything is music to me, basically.
I equate that to you live in the moment.
Yeah,
You listen to things and you play your ukulele, but you're outside, so that means you're listening to nature as well.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. So you really staying in the moment. I like that. I like that a lot.
yeah. I have fun. I try to be my authentic self. I don't try not to mask as much.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like sometimes as me as a stroke survivor, like I feel the need to like try to match my personality with people. That was an issue I used to deal with. Like I always had to like make it seem like I'm like this or I'm like that just to fit in. And I'm trying to slowly break that bad habit.
So that was some type of way that you was people pleasing and you wanted people to be around you,
Yeah.
and then you realize that this is not it. Is that
Yeah.
what you?
Yeah, that's how it was all along. Yeah. Cuz that's what I did in school and everything. Like I always was like that.
That's rough. That's really no, and it's very wise of you to learn that. You know what? I'm done pleasing people. If you don't fit into my life, okay, it's just you don't fit in my life. No
Point
hard
blank.
feelings. We're good. I want to go back to something because I'm going back to this filter thing because something just kicked inside of my head. No. It's not that bad, but I'm very curious of what you're going to say about this. Confrontations. How you deal with them?
To be honest with you, it's hard for me to deal with them. Depending on the person and the circumstance, it's hard. But I'm getting better with it. Don't get me wrong, I am. It's just certain things just tend to bother me in that moment, and I try not to let that get to me. So, yeah, that's how I do.
What do you mean it's hard? Do you start lashing out or you just move on? What do you mean by that?
Sometimes I lash out, sometimes I don't. Really, it just depends.
I ask you that because after my stroke, I don't want to argue with people. I really don't. I don't have the capacity to actually argue with you. I don't practice it anymore. So if I'm talking with you and all of a sudden you start fighting me, okay. And I just move on. Because I don't want to go back and forth. It gives me headaches. I get frustrated. I don't like that actual feeling within me. So I don't argue with people. Then I might come back to you a day or two later, but you know what? I heard what you said and it didn't really make sense to me. Do you want to articulate it better?
Like I just Greg, honestly, I just try to deal with it. I try to deal with the situation at hand. And if I'm not getting the like if I'm feel like I'm not being heard, that's when I start to get loud and I start like that's when it really starts to kick in for me.
Oh, so you get loud. Okay.
Real quick. Like my anger, I go from 1 to 10. It's always been like that.
Really?
Yes. I get
Really?
it really quickly. Yep.
You know what I do? And I don't know, you might want to use this. This is what I do. If someone is talking with me and they start yelling at me, and it might not even be that they're yelling at me, they might be explaining a situation and they getting upset about it and they explain it back to me. I tell them, stop. I'm not yelling at you. Don't yell at me. Talk to me. Now, if you can't talk to me, come
It's
back when you can.
yeah.
But we're not doing this yelling thing. I'm not gonna do that with you. No, 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 no way. And that usually calms the person down, and then they speak to me. But I notice that if I don't do that, they start yelling, I start yelling, and nobody understands each other when you're yelling. Like, I don't care what you say. If anybody's yelling at you, are you really listening to them? Nah, you like, I don't know who you think you're talking to, and you just move on. And you just move on. So that's why I don't do it. I don't let people start yelling at me. Even when I hear their tone start changing, I'm like, hold on. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're having a conversation. We don't want to have a conversation. You want to yell? Call somebody up, yell at them, then call me back.
Take your anger out elsewhere.
Yeah, we ain't doing that over here. Yeah. I got time for that. No, sirree.
Yeah, go talk to somebody else with that energy.
Yeah, I got no time for that. Who got time for that back and forth fighting?
Yes, that unnecessary yelling. Like, how your voice gonna be sore the next day? What's the point in that?
All right, let's talk about this. You was telling me about this in our pre-interview, but I never understand the concept behind it. The spoon theory. What is that about?
So spoon theory is basically like kinetic energy. So basically when you move, when you do activities, it requires energy. Because I've had a stroke, I don't have that much. My stamina is not as good as it used to be. So for example, like let's say you're going to go take a shower, that costs a spoon. Let's say you're cleaning the house, you're vacuuming the floor, that costs a spoon. Let's say you go out somewhere that require like to a concert or out to a friend's house or something, that costs a spoon because you have to be social. Like stuff like that, activities like that is what like costs you, what makes you lose spoons. And I don't have that much.
So do you plan your day out and say I only have 10 spoons and I need to choose what I'm going to do throughout this day, or you just go throughout the day and then all of a sudden you're out of spoons?
It really depends on the day, honestly. Like if I know I'm going somewhere or if I feel like doing something, I'll do it. But if I don't have the capacity to do it, I won't put myself in that situation.
Okay. So for a person that's hearing you say this, what should they do to actually understand this fully so they could prepare their days when it comes to this spoon theory? Because a lot of times, a lot of people say, Gregor, I'm drained, and they don't do anything. What would you tell those type of people?
Like if you're out of energy or out of spoons?
Pick your choice.
I would say just take time, like just lay in the bed, just relax. Don't force yourself to do something that you can't finish. Like when you start an activity, don't put yourself in a situation where you have to finish it later. Don't do that. Just take a break. Remind yourself that hey, it's okay. I'm just tired. I know this is what it is. I know I can't do as much as I used to. It's just a thing where you just have to get to know yourself and know what you are capable of.
When you speak on that, and I'm glad you are speaking on that, you touched on, and you didn't really dig into it, but I want you to a little bit dig into that more, because a lot of people will get upset with themselves because they didn't finish something. They feel like they are a failure. Can you speak on that part of that spoon theory? Is it, if you don't finish it, are you a failure, or is there something deeper than that because something's going on with your brain?
I say that to say like if you can't finish it, it's okay. Like you come back to it when you have the energy. Like when that happens, like it's important to reassure yourself and be like, okay, I'll get this done. I will get it done, just not right now. That's how I at least deal with it.
So it's not personal, because a lot of people will take it personal that they can't do it, because a lot of times people will say, well, I was able to do this before. I had the energy to do this before, but this stupid stroke took everything away from me. And you said something before. It's not biological. It's more of a, I guess, your spiritual, your mental capacity and dealing with that. Now, can you translate that for us, saying that, well, hey, I know your body's not working the same way anymore, but now you really have to use your mental fortitude or your spiritual fortitude to actually power through the situation. Is that true, or is that something I'm just making up?
It's true to an extent. Like, everyone is different, so I can't really speak on this too much, but I'm connecting this theory based on my experiences and what I know I can and can't do. So this is really something I can't really speak about that much. So yeah.
Look at you, wise beyond your age. See, I can't trap you with questions. See, you're like, Greg, don't do that to me. I'm not gonna be put in a pigeonhole. You gonna say this, and then 10 years from now, they're gonna be like, see, you said this on Deaf Taught Us How to Live. Okay, you're good. You're good. I like that. I like that. I like that. All right. We're at the end of our show, but at the end of our show, I have my hot seat questions. I ask all my guests 5 to 6 questions about certain things about stroke recovery. And I'll ask you these questions, and each question, when you're done, just say, Greg, I'm done. I'm ready for the next question. So keep them short, about 30 to 60 seconds long if you can. And then after that, I will turn the show over to you and you will close it out. It'll be your time to say anything that you want to say, any way that you want people to find you, or any quotes that you want to leave people. It'll be your show to close out. So, Miss Hall, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. Our first question is on the screen. How did you get out of the darkness?
I try to think about what I can do instead of what I can't do. It's really not, like, it's not important. It's not good to dwell on the negative. So I try to think more positive about the situation. Next question.
Yes, ma'am. Question number 2. What is the hardest part of your stroke recovery?
Becoming aware that this is a thing, because when I first got sick, I was really young and I didn't know. So now that I am up in the age where I'm more aware of certain things, it's like I'm starting to prioritize my health for this reason. Because before I would just be like, I didn't know anything. Next question.
Okay. Question number 3. What advice would you give someone in their first year of stroke recovery?
Don't be too hard on yourself. Like, it'll get better. It will get better.
You didn't say next question this time, but
Next.
I figured
Yeah.
the next question.
Well, not bad.
Question number 4. What do you want people to know that is not easy for a young stroke survivor to explain?
I don't know how to answer this question.
Do you want me to reword it?
Yeah, please.
You touched on it just a little bit. You was like, you didn't understand. You started prioritizing your life, your health, because you didn't understand because you was young. So what I'm saying to you is, if you think about yourself when you was 9, 10 years old, and you were going through certain things as a stroke survivor, but you couldn't articulate it to grown-ups, to anybody, because they didn't understand what you was talking about. You couldn't find the words. I'm saying now, since you can analyze how you were when you was that child,
Yeah.
what would you say to that particular child, or the people that's around that particular child, so they can understand that Akira's not doing this on purpose? Akira is not being lazy. Akira can't go and jump off the ceiling anymore. She can't do that anymore.
Right.
What are the things that you want to tell people, for young stroke survivors, to how to deal with them?
For parents and caregivers, I say that this is not me being lazy. This is not them being lazy. This is like legit something that they're struggling with. Like, please be patient. Like, this is important. Like, this is not, I'm not BSing. Like, this is a real thing. If they say they can't do something, you really got to listen to them. They don't feel like doing anything. Just put that into consideration when you talk to them, because they're not like you. They're not able to comprehend quick and stuff like that. You're gonna have to speak to them differently. Next question.
We're gonna stay on this just a little bit. I'm ready to go to the next question, but I think people don't understand that just because I could do it today doesn't mean I could do it tomorrow
Right.
as a stroke survivor. Because I could have all the energy in the world, like you was talking about the spoon theory. I could have all the energy in the world. I could do all this stuff. I could do my homework. I could clean up my room, and then tomorrow I just don't have it. And I'm not trying to be funny. I just don't have it. I don't have the energy. I don't have it. Am I right?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. You did say next question, so I'm at the next question. What did the threat of death teach you?
It taught me that it's possible that it can happen. Bottom line, like it was about to happen. I know I was at risk, and I'm glad that I was able to get past that. Next question.
Well, that's the final question. So you're off the hot seat. I'm gonna take the questions off the screen, and then I'm gonna allow you to close the show. So first of all, everybody, thank you for coming out and checking out Miss Hall and how she actually transformed from a young stroke survivor to a beautiful blossom woman. And I thank you so much for coming on the show and explaining your life and explaining what has happened to you and giving the information to other people. I really appreciate you, my sister. And I will turn the show over to you. You close us out. Tell everybody good night when you're done, and we'll be done with our show. All yours.
Thank you guys for really tuning in and watching me. I appreciate every single one of you. And I hope you guys have a good evening, and you guys know how to contact me. My Instagram is it's just Kira ITZ underscore JUST underscore my name. That's my Instagram. My TikTok is the same thing. It's just Kira. And my YouTube channel is my first and last name, Akira Hall. And that's pretty much it. You guys have a good rest of your evening, and goodbye.